Dear students, I welcome you all for this PPT video lesson on Political Science Chapter 2, the Union Government. Can you all recognize this beautiful building? Yes, you are right. This is the beautiful image of Indian Parliament, which is in our capital city, New Delhi. Today, let us learn about Union Government. We have learnt in the previous lesson that India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic and a republican country. In England and France, we have a unitary system of government, whereas in India, like that of United States of America, we have federal system of government. What is the meaning of federal system of government? That is, there is a division of power between union government or central government and the state governments in the states. So in India, we have federal system and union of states, that is, we have one central government which governs the whole nation, and we have 29 states. So the power is distributed between the central and the state government. This is the meaning of federal government. However, the central government or the union government has been given more powers. Why? Because in view of unity and security of the nation during emergencies, if difference of opinion exists between central and the state government, voice of the central government always prevails. Union government exercises three powers through the three organs of the government. So like we have different organs in our body which performs the particular function. Similarly, the government which governs the country has three important organs. They are the legislature, executive and the judiciary. So all these powers has been given by our constitution. The Indian constitution very clearly explains the powers and the functions of all these three organs of the government. So under legislative organ, we have two houses. One is the lower house and the upper house. Under executive, we have president, cabinet ministers, and the third organ, judiciary, we have Supreme Court at New Delhi. So the main function of legislature is to make law or legislate the law, and whatever the laws made by the legislature is implemented or executed by the executive organ of the government, whereas judiciary interprets the law made by the legislature. Now, let us study about union legislature. India has adopted the parliamentary system of government, and we have taken this from England. And union legislature is called by the name parliament. This is the building what you are seeing, and in our constitution, Article 79 provides for the creation of parliament. Indian parliament consists of two houses, as I said earlier. The upper house of the Indian parliament is called by the name Rajya Sabha, and the lower house of the parliament is called by the name Lok Sabha or House of People. So here is a picture of Lok Sabha. You can see all our MPs who are there in the session. This is the picture of Rajya Sabha or upper house of the Indian Parliament. Now let us learn more about these two houses, how it is formed, what is the term of the office and other aspects. So Rajya Sabha, the number of seats in the Rajya Sabha is fixed to 250, and in this 250 members, 238 members are elected by the members of all the state assemblies and the union territories. That means there is no direct election for Rajya Sabha. There is an indirect election to the members of Rajya Sabha, and all the elected state assembly members and the union territories, they will elect the members of Rajya Sabha. That is how 238 members are elected to Rajya Sabha. The remaining 12 members are chosen from different fields, like they should be expert in the various fields like literature, art, science and social work. They are nominated by the president. Even from the field of sports, they are also nominated. So Rajya Sabha is also called as the House of Elders. And what is the term of office of Rajya Sabha? Rajya Sabha is completely different when we look into the term of Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is regarded as a permanent house or a permanent body, and it cannot be dissolved by Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha's term of office is 5 years, but if the members of Lok Sabha loses the confidence, then they have to vacate the house. That is what it means, dissolved. Before 5 years also, the whole house can be dissolved and the new members can be elected to Lok Sabha. But whereas Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved, that is why it is called as a permanent house. And the term of every member in Rajya Sabha is 6 years. Once they become the members of Rajya Sabha, they enjoy the term of 6 years, and one third of its members, that is out of 250, one third of its member, they retire on the completion of 6 years. So every second year, one third of the member, they go out from the house, and the new one third member will be added to Rajya Sabha after completing 6 years. That means every member will enjoy the term of 6 years, and once in 2 years, one third of the Rajya Sabha members, they vacate the house, and one third new members will enter the Rajya Sabha. This is how, since they keep on changing, but the house remains the same. So in their place, new members will be coming, one third members will be adding to the members of Rajya Sabha. And before 6 years of term, if the members do not wish to continue as a member of Rajya Sabha, then they also have the option to resign from their post. Now, what are the qualifications required to become the member of Rajya Sabha? Firstly, he should be a citizen of India. That means foreigners do not have the option, or they do not have the qualification to enter into the member of Rajya Sabha. Secondly, all the members who wish to contest as a member to Rajya Sabha should not be less than 30 years. 30 years and above. That is why this house is also called as House of Elders. Thirdly, they should not have been punished under law. Fourthly, they should not have been declared to be a person of unsound mind by the court of law, because it is a very high responsible position. They are the one who will be making the law for the whole nation. That is why unsound mind or insolvents do not have the right to enter into the Rajya Sabha. They cannot contest in the election. Fifthly, they should possess the qualification specified from time to time by the Parliament. Parliament keeps changing certain things, and that whatever the changes prescribed by the Parliament has to be possessed by a person who wish to contest as a member to the Rajya Sabha. The Vice President will become the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Whoever becomes the Vice President of India, automatically they will also be the chairman of Rajya Sabha. The deputy chairman is chosen from among the 250 members, and at least 10% of the members, that is at least minimum of 25 members out of 250, should be present during the session of the Rajya Sabha. That means it is not compulsory for all the 250 members to participate in the session or to actively participate in the session. It is left to their choice, but at least 25 members should be there whenever the session takes place. The house should meet at least twice in a year. So if in case if there is an emergency also, the session is called, but it is not compulsory that every month they have to meet and all such things. At least twice in a year they have to conduct the meeting. So, who is the present chairman of Rajya Sabha? As I said, the Vice President of India will automatically become the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Right now, you are seeing the picture of Mr. Venkaiah Naidu. He is the 13th Vice President of India as well as chairman of Rajya Sabha. If we have to know about him, so he is the second highest constitutional office in India. The first highest is the president. President is considered as the first citizen of India, whereas the vice president of India is considered as the second highest constitutional office in India after the president. In the Indian Constitution, Article 63, it states that there shall be a vice president of India and the vice president acts as president in the absence of the presidents due to death or recognition or impeachment or other situation. What is the meaning of impeachment? Impeachment refers to removal of the president from his post. In such cases, the vice president automatically takes the power of president till the new election takes place. Now, let us see how Lok Sabha is formed. The members of Lok Sabha, they are elected directly by the people. That is why this is called as House of People. All the Indian citizens who have crossed 18 years and they have the right to elect the members of Lok Sabha. The maximum number of seats is 545. Rajya Sabha, we said it is 250, whereas the total members is 545. In these 545 members, 543 members, they are directly elected by the whole nation, whereas the 2 members required to become 545, that 2 members will be from Anglo-Indian community. They are nominated by the president. And in this 545 members, 79 members or 79 seats are reserved for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and 41 seats for scheduled tribes, whereas 79 seats are reserved for scheduled caste. What is the term of office? The Lok Sabha members, they are elected for a term of 5 years. However, if the recommendation is made by the Prime Minister, the President also has got the right to dissolve the entire House. And if the Prime Minister loses the confidence, along with the Prime Ministers, all his party members or the government will also lose the power. That is why it is said that they swim together and they sink together. If they are in the power, all the members of the ruling party will be in the power until and unless they enjoy the confidence of the members of Lok Sabha. Once they lose the confidence, they will also lose the power. During the emergency, the term may be extended for 1 year. As I said, Lok Sabha is only for 5 years. Imagine by the end of 5 years, if the war is declared in the country or any financial crisis occurs, the position will be so that we cannot conduct the election. During such emergencies, the term of the House can be prolonged for 1 year. After that, once again the new election will take place for Lok Sabha. So, this is a house which can be dissolved, whereas Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. Now, let us see what are the qualifications which are required to become the members of Lok Sabha. As we said, should be the citizen of India. Secondly, must not be less than 25 years of age. What is the age we set for Rajya Sabha? It is 30 years, 5 years more than this. For Lok Sabha, it is 25 years, and he should not hold any office of profit under the government. The citizen who wants to contest for the post of Lok Sabha member, If he is already employed in any government office or in any other office which earns the profit, he has to resign before contesting for the election. He should not be a person of unsound mind. As I said, he should not be insolvent. And fifthly, he should not have been punished under the law, because they are the lawmakers. So they should have a good character. They should not be punished by any court or by the police department. Sixthly, they should possess qualification as specified by Parliament from time to time. If any new qualifications are specified, then they should also possess those qualifications which are demanded by the Parliament. So when our Parliament will be in the session, how does it look? So you can see the Prime Minister of India. Who is the Prime Minister of India? As you all know, Mr. Narendra Modi. He is addressing the Parliament. So you can see that how does our Parliament look when all the members they participate in the session. Prime Minister is considered as the leader of the Parliament because he is the leader of the ruling party. Though the Prime Minister is considered as the real hero of the government, or he is the one who actually enjoys the power, but the entire Lok Sabha is presided by the Speaker. Now let us see how a Speaker elected. The members elect from among themselves a Speaker and a Deputy Speaker. The Speaker has to impartially conduct all the proceedings of the House. He should maintain the dignity and decorum of the House. It is the responsibility of the Speaker to see that there should be dignity and decorum has to be maintained. In television, you might have seen the Parliament session. The Speaker will be sitting at the top, and until and unless he comes or he begins, he calls, the session do not take place. The Speaker gives his ruling whenever there are questions about the validity of the proceedings. According to the protocol, all including the Prime Ministers are expected to give respect to the Speaker of the House. So Speaker will enjoy more power and everything goes according to the orders given by the Speaker. Speaker has to begin the session, he has to call for the session, and he has the right to send the members out of the House if they do not follow the dignity and decorum of the House. Fourthly, when bills gets equal number of votes for and against them, the Speaker casts the deciding vote. What is the meaning of bill? See, the legislature, as I said, the main function of the legislature is to make the law. We'll be seeing how the law is made. Before the law is made, whatever they want to implement will be written, and that is called as a bill. Once the bill gets the signature, then the bill will become the law. Every bill has to be approved or signed by the President. So that bill is put for voting in the session. So suppose, imagine if the voting becomes tie, if there is equal vote for and against, then what happens? The Speaker has got a special right to vote. So when the Speaker puts the vote, then that will become the deciding vote. The Deputy Speaker conducts the proceedings in the absence of Speaker. Suppose if the Speaker is not able to attend the session, or he might have gone to the foreign tour, or if he is ill, or the post might have been left vacant due to the death, or if he has resigned. In such cases, the Deputy Speaker takes up the power and he conducts the sessions of the House. Who is the present Speaker of Lok Sabha? Om Birla, you can see the picture here. He is the present Speaker of Lok Sabha. Now, what is the role of the opposition party? The party which gets maximum number in the general election becomes the ruling party. and the next party, the second party which has got the maximum votes in the general election will become the opposition party. So when the general election takes place, so many parties will contest for the election. The party which wins will become the ruling, the second highest will become the opposition party. So ruling party's leader will become the prime minister, whereas the second party will become the opposition party, and the leader of that opposition party will become the leader of that particular party. Even though they are opposition party, they too have certain role and work to do. What are the important duties performed by the opposition party? Opposition doesn't mean opposing everything done by the ruling party. They are also having certain responsibilities. That is why they are called as watchdogs of democracy. They will keep an eye on ruling party and they will be watching whatever they do, and they also have the right to criticize the government. Highlight the work done by the ruling party is the main function of the opposition party. Secondly, they also examine the policies of the government, whatever they have done, the rules, the regulations thoroughly. And thirdly, they keep the government and the council of ministers and the officials alert. Imagine if there is no opposition party, whatever done by the ruling party, we have to accept, and there will be no control on the ruling party. They may act according to their whims and the fancies. We need a control or a check on them. That is why opposition party always keeps the government alert. And fourthly, opposition party also enjoys the respectable position in the legislature. So right now BJP has got the highest vote in the general election. They are the ruling party in the country, and the leader of BJP party, Narendra Modi, is our prime minister. So opposition party is Congress party, and the leader of this Congress party is Mr. Rahul Gandhi. You can see the picture here. Now let us see what are the powers and functions of the parliament. Whenever we say parliament, it includes both the houses, that is Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. So the first function, the foremost and the very important function performed by the parliament is legislative powers, because that is the main function. What is legislative power? Making the law. So it can frame the laws on the subjects mentioned in the central list. What is central list? We have three important lists. One is called central list or the union list, and some of the topics will be given in that union list. So the central government has the power to make law on all the subjects. Subjects here means the topics which are mentioned in the central list. For example, like railways, defense, financial matters, international relationship, like that. All that topics are the subjects are included in the union list, and the parliament has got the right to make law on any topics given in the central list. What is state list? They are the topics which comes under the power of the state government, like for example marriage and divorce, transportations, communications, etc., etc. So the state government has the power to make laws given in the state list. We have third important list called as concurrent list. Concurrent list, the topics are given, like for example education, then transport and communication once again. So some of the topics given in the concurrent list, wherein both central and state government has got the right to make law given in the concurrent list. Suppose if the clash takes place between union and the state, the voice of the central government prevails. So education was in the state list, now it has been transferred to concurrent list. So that is why we have to follow the rules made by the central government as well as the state government. So mainly all the topics or the subjects given in union list, that topics law is taken up in the parliament to make a law. So that is the legislative power. Secondly, the financial bill. The bill relating to money matters is presented only in the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha enjoys more power. Why? Because it is called as the House of People. The members are directly elected by the people. So all the bills relating to money matter has to originate or has to be presented only by the Lok Sabha, and after Lok Sabha presents, it goes to Rajya Sabha, and but the bill becomes law only after proper discussion and approval by the houses. Any other bill, any other topic can be presented and originated either in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha, but the financial bill, which is also called money bill, has to be presented only by the Lok Sabha. This you have to keep it in the mind. Thirdly, when there is a disagreement between the two houses regarding the bill, then the president may call for a joint session of the parliament, wherein both the houses are called for a session or a meeting. Then the problem is resolved. Fourthly, after both the houses passes the bill, it is sent for president for his approval. President has to put the signature. Once the president puts the signature, it is no more called as a bill. It becomes a law, and law is applicable for the whole nation. Whatever the laws made by the parliament has to be obeyed, respect by the citizens of the nation. So now let us see the second power, that is administrative powers. In the Indian parliamentary system of government, as I said, the Prime Minister and his Council of Ministers, they form the executive. They will implement or execute the laws made by the legislature, and the Union Cabinet is accountable. Accountable means is answerable to the parliament. We have a question hour in the parliament session wherein any member of the house can put a question to the cabinet minister or the council of minister regarding their department or portfolios given. Then they have to give the satisfactory answer. Whenever the parliament members ask the question, they have to give a satisfactory answer, the ruling party. Suppose if they do not give the satisfactory answer, what happens? Then the no confidence motion is passed. They will be not be supported by the members. Then they have to lose their position or their portfolio. Thirdly, the Council of Ministers can be in the power only as long as they enjoy the trust of the parliament. So that is very, very important. Once they lose the confidence, they have to give the resignation. They will not enjoy their power. They cannot continue as the member of parliament. That's why I said they swim together, they sing together. Not only that particular minister goes out. Suppose if the Prime Minister loses the confidence, not only he has to go out, along with the Prime Minister, all his cabinet members, all the Council of Ministers, the entire house gets dissolved. So that means to say that Parliament has got a complete control over the executive organ of the government. So here is a picture of cabinet ministers. Now let us see what are the financial powers. As I said earlier, compared to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha enjoys more power in the financial matter. Why? Because they are directly elected by the people and they are also called as House of Peoples. The government cannot levy any new tax or spend any money without the approval of the Lok Sabha. The financial bill, first it has to be introduced in the Lok Sabha. After the introduction of the bill goes to Rajya Sabha for discussion. The Rajya Sabha can give certain suggestions, directions to the Lok Sabha, and they can also delay in giving its consent to the bill. They can hold the bill. How long they can hold? Only for 14 days. Imagine even after 14 days, if the Rajya Sabha do not send the bill back to the Lok Sabha with any suggestions, then what happens? Then Lok Sabha considers that Rajya Sabha has accepted the bill and it goes to the signature of President. That means to say that if Rajya Sabha does not give its consent to the bill within 14 days, it is taken for granted that the Rajya Sabha has approved it, then it is sent to the President for his approval. Once the President puts the signature, then the bill becomes the law. Can the President have the right to refuse signing or to do some recommendation? Yes, President has got the right to do some recommendations or giving directions or suggestions to Lok Sabha. But it is not compulsory on the part of Lok Sabha. If they wish, they can take that suggestions or the directions, or they may discuss once again. But ultimately, the Lok Sabha has got more power in financial matter. Then the President has to put the signature, then the bill becomes the law. That means in the financial matter, Lok Sabha enjoys more power than Rajya Sabha. Whereas in all other subjects given in the union list, any house may present the bill. So if Rajya Sabha presents the bill goes to Lok Sabha for discussion. If both the houses agrees, then the bill becomes the law. If the bill do not gets the majority of vote, then the bill also dies, or the bill will not have any part to become the law. The bill collapses or the bill dies over there. So all the bill which originates in the parliament will not become a law. It should get 2/3 majority of the members. But regarding the financial matter, Lok Sabha has the right to present, and the consent of the Lok Sabha to spend the money or to make a new taxes or any other matter relating to financial matter, only Lok Sabha enjoys more power. This point you have to keep it in the mind. Now let us see what are the judicial powers of the parliament. Both the houses of the parliament, they have the authority to remove the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Court through a motion of impeachment. As I said earlier, what is the meaning of impeachment? Impeachment refers to removing of that particular officer or the judge or any authoritative from their post is called as a impeachment process. They also have the power, they here refers to both the houses of the parliament. They have the power to discuss the findings of the reports which are related to judiciary matters, amend the constitution. What is amendment? Doing new changes, that is any new additions to be made to the constitution, or deleting some of the provisions which are not relevant to present day is called as amendment. Any changes made to the constitution is called as the amendment. So even any matter relating to amendment, both the houses should do the discussion. Thirdly, both the houses of the parliament, they have the equal power to amend the constitution. The amendment bill can be presented first in either house, whereas financial only in Lok Sabha, but amendment bill can be presented and originated in any house of the parliament. However, the approval of both the houses is required for the amendment. If only one house approves for the amendment bill and the other does not, then the amendment cannot be carried on. For example, imagine Rajya Sabha has accepted the amendment bill. Lok Sabha refuses, then what happens? Then amendment bill cannot be carried out. In some cases, the approval of the state assemblies is also essential for amendment of the constitution. If the matter is relating to the state, then the state government legislature has to give the consent, then only that amendment bill carries out. What are the power to amend the constitution? Both the houses of the parliament, they have the equal power as said earlier. The amendment bill can be presented first in either house, either in Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. However, the approval of both the houses is required for the amendment. If only one house is giving approve or the accepts, the other house does not give any consent, or if they are not happy with that amendment bill, then it cannot be carried out. Now, let us see what are the other important powers enjoyed by the Parliament of India. To frame the laws relating to the powers and jurisdictions of the Supreme Court and the High Court. If any new law has to be made regarding the jurisdiction, the power of limit. Jurisdiction means what all the powers enjoyed by the Supreme Court and the High Court, what are the powers which come under them. They all come under the power of Parliament. It is the Parliament which makes the law relating to the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court and the High Court. Secondly, to establish one High Court for two or more states. It is also the discretion or the power enjoyed by the Parliament to take a decision depending upon the population. Usually every state will have one High Court, and it is the right of the Parliament to decide whether we shall have one High Court or two or more depending upon the population of that particular state. Thirdly, to create new state. When the new states are created, like Uttaranchal, like that, when the new states are created, so that has to be given a new name, rename to them, and to determine the boundaries. When the new state is created, it has to be given a name, and the boundary also has to be fixed for that state. That also comes under the Parliament powers. Fourthly, to discuss the report of the committees like Public Service Commission, Finance Commission, Election Commission, Backward Classes Commission, etc. Whenever the report is given by all these authorities or by the institution which are very important, then that reports are discussed in the Parliament. Fifthly, it also gives approval for the declarations of emergency. Suddenly, emergency means it is not pre-planned, all of a sudden it takes place. There are three kinds of emergency, which is called national emergency, state emergency, and financial emergency. The best example for national emergency is like declaration of war. The other neighboring countries or any other country may declare a war on our nation, or natural calamities if occur, then also the Parliament has the power to declare the national emergency. It may be a flood or earthquake or any such drought, any natural calamities which occur and where the whole country is affected, the whole nation is suffering, then the national emergency is declared. State emergencies are those when the administration fails in the state government, or any natural calamities occurs in the state, when there is a need for the president rule in the state government, the legislature loses the power. That time it is declared as a state emergency. Who will declare the state emergency? Once again, it is the responsibility of the Parliament to declare the state emergency. What is financial emergency? Imagine the whole country is under financial crisis. There is no money. So there is a very difficult situation in the money matters. Then the Parliament will declare financial emergency. But luckily in India, so far the financial emergency has not been declared so far. So dear students, this lesson has also got many more concepts. So just now we have completed on only one organ of the government, that is legislature. We have two more organs like union executive and union judiciary. But now since the portion is reduced to 30%, if you study till union legislature, that is whatever said in this video lesson, that is sufficient for your examination. So take out your textbook, glance whatever the points I have explained in the video. Hope you have understood the concepts. Thank you.